Hello. So could you first of all introduce yourself?
I'm AC Layne, also known as TE1 Productions,
Okay.
from Northwest London. I'm a music maker, producer, engineer, one man,
Okay.
really.
So let's start from the beginning. How did you start making music? Yeah.
I started making music in, what was it, 2000.
Mhm.
Like I kind of tagged along with some friends and went to somewhere where they said there was a studio. And it was my first time in like a proper studio, and it was like all these bits of equipment, MPCs, S3000s, all that kind of stuff, and it was just like, well, yeah, I want to get involved, and I want my stuff to sound like all the stuff that I've been listening to when I've been growing up. So
Mhm.
it was just one of those things. I just kind of took to it straight away and wanted to learn everything.
Okay.
So I
So
did
what did you grow up listening to,
it.
basically?
80s soul, rare groove, reggae, hip hop, jazz, pretty much everything pop. Everything is just like a whole. Like my family quite musical. They listen
Mhm.
to a whole range of stuff depending on which person you actually deal with. So
Okay.
it's one of the things I just raised on a lot of music,
Okay.
a lot of music. But everything that they played, majority of it I liked.
Mhm.
So it was one of those things where it's like those things kind of melodies and stuff would stick in my head, and I'd whistle or sing
Mhm.
them on the way to school or whatever.
Okay. So I guess all these different kinds of music you were listening to influenced your music, like.
Definitely,
So is it like a mix of everything you were
pretty
listening to?
much,
Yeah.
pretty much. I kind of just took what I wanted from everything and
Okay.
then just put it in my own way.
Cool. So what projects did you start work? I mean, did you release I don't know, mixtapes or?
You know what? I was I intended on doing a mixtape,
Mhm.
but then it was sort of like I don't really I didn't really feel I had to because it's sort of like I just didn't really I like songs. I
Mhm.
like completed stuff. I like people to come on my stuff, and at the time when I started I didn't really get a lot of people that really was digging my sound
Mhm.
enough for me to make a mixtape. So it was sort of like, well, I'll just continue making music, record when and where I can, and just see what happens from there. And that's how it kind of took off. Because then the whole thing when I got on MySpace, so like I put a beat up there, and at the time I called it Just Me, I think it was,
Mhm.
and Miles Bonny hollered at me and was like, yeah, I like this, and can I do a song over it? And at the time, I didn't really know what it meant. He was like, yeah,
Okay.
what does this mean? Like, you want to do a song kind of thing? So it's sort of like I sent him the file, and then he sent back the song and what it is I see. It was like one of
Mhm.
my first ever collaborative joints
Okay.
overseas, and yeah, it went really well. It went really well.
Okay. So that's another good story of the golden era of MySpace then.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
MySpace, I met a lot of people. I met Miles Bonny. I met another New York rapper called Phase One. He did
Mhm.
the 4 a.m. joint on my EP. Who else have I met? A lot of people that I work with now, like Kaiser, like Incisive. Well, Incisive I knew from college, but I relinked with him on MySpace
Mhm.
as well, and everything just kind of took off from there. You just meet people, and then all of a sudden their friends know your friends, and
Mhm.
just kind of takes off from there.
Okay, so you released an EP a while ago. I can't even remember when, but anyway,
July.
in July. I talked about it on the blog. So could you tell us how you work on that? How did you? Well, you talked about MySpace already, but how did you get in touch with the other artists, and how did you? Yeah, how did it work, like recording process and everything?
Well, if we're gonna go on the artists that were on there, um, Serena Leah, she contacted me via Facebook,
Okay.
but I'd already known of her because she was on a compilation that I was on called Rebel Music.
Okay.
So we linked through that, and she came to the studio, and I think she heard a piece that I did on MySpace, and she wanted to do a song over it. So me being the person I am, I'm always kind of skeptical when I send music because
Okay.
like, I'm always wondering what they're gonna do with it. I'm never really fully trusting if I don't really know what you're doing.
Okay.
So it's sort of like I was just waiting to see what she came back with, and then she came back to the studio to record it, and what she'd done was just amazing. So I was like, you know what, that's one for the EP. 2 tracks on there I'd done like years previously, like Gone Away and What It Is I See. Like I said, What It Is I See was one of the first joints I ever
Yeah.
did overseas with Miles Bonney, and then Gone Away was with Reggie B, who's in the same collective as Miles Bonney.
Yeah.
So that link was kind of easy to make. The solo piece that I did, the instrumental piece, May Be Wonderful, that was with Yasmin Baker,
Okay.
playing keys on there, just doing a little solo piece on it. And I met her through Incisive, who I worked with during the summer.
Okay.
Who else was on there?
Wait, phase one that you told. You
Yeah,
say you
phase
met him
one.
on MySpace.
Phase one, yeah.
Okay.
I met him on MySpace. That track was kind of weird because I actually made that track at 4 in the morning. I woke up at 4 in the morning and I had these things going on in my head, and yeah, it was kind of crazy. And then I sent it to him, and everything that I was thinking or revolving around what I was thinking, he wrote in his rhymes.
That's amazing.
It's the same. It's the same. It's
So
the
it's
same kind of
basically
thing.
your story with his
Yeah,
words.
it's the same kind of thing with the Gone Away joint on there. So
Okay.
like I sent it to Reggie. I didn't really give him any kind of direction. He just kind of wrote what came to him.
Okay. Okay, so basically they got your feelings through your music.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, cool. So I read in a recent interview that you didn't use that many instruments, but more like samples. We are surrounded by vinyl, so I was wondering, are you a crate digger, like really passionate?
I am. I mean, with here, I've been here like in this place like 3 years. Uplock Studios been here like 3 years and that, and I can honestly say I don't really dig too much because I do like to play it. I don't really play like fluently, but I can get the sound that I want, and that's
Okay.
really what music is really about. It's about getting the sound that you want and just articulate it in the way you need to. So yeah, I do dig sometimes and listen to some of the stuff and whatever and stuff, but it's a mixture of the mixture of the two really. I sample and I play. I just get
Okay.
the mixture of both and then make it happen.
Cool. Okay. So are you working on other projects currently?
Where do I begin? um, I'm currently doing I'm engineering a project for some guys called Kings of the Cosmos. It's a new hip hop project that's coming out hopefully soon, and I'm doing that. I got 2 guys that I've grown up with called Crime and Brown. I'm releasing their project No Holds Barred. That's coming out soon. A very, very, very talented singer called Nadine Atlanta Smith. I'm doing a project with her, an EP project with her. She's incredible. She's incredible. She just gets it and she gets the job done 100%. So yeah, so on that side of things, yeah, I mean, obviously I do house music as well, so I've got other things coming out on the flip side there as well.
Okay, cool. Something else the interviewer mentioned, because as I said, I wanted to ask all the questions she asked. What do you think about the UK or London scene right now?
For me, it's kind of weird because I don't really think about it because it's kind of scattered. If you get that, I mean, a lot of people have got so many kind of they've got so many kind of ways of thinking what hip hop actually is, and they all articulate it in their own kind of way. So it's sort of like I'll let everybody do you, and like all the like-minded people I'll take to because that's the way it's gonna kind of work until I get into the kind of space that everybody else is. So for me, the scene, I mean, it's doing what it needs to. I mean, there's a lot of people coming from London now, doing very well for what they're doing. So I can't really complain. But I mean, for the music that I like and what I want to make, I don't think there's enough going on. I mean, I can only really pick one person that's really doing the kind of music that I like. That's really kind of like in its successful kind of like front, and that's Ty.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean he's really in like the pole position right now. If you think about it, for the kind of music that I like the soulful hip hop kind of head nodding kind of stuff. he's the guy.
Okay. So kind of same question, but like, what albums did, well, if influence you, or what albums did you really like this year? What artists did you really appreciate?
One artist that's gonna stick out straight away in the top of my head. You from London or just all
No,
over?
just generally.
One guy that sticks out in my head is Rock Marciano.
Okay.
He had an album called Marsberg, and I think that was pretty much the best album of 2010.
Mhm.
Like he really stunned me with what he came out with, because I didn't think anybody else would be making hip hop like that again ever.
Okay.
But it came to pass, and it was really good. Who else? I'm trying to think of people outside of my circle.
Yeah, that would be good.
You know what I'm saying? So
But it's okay.
I don't seem so biased, you know.
Yeah.
Cause I stay so into what I'm doing.
Mhm.
I go back and I listen to old stuff.
Yeah.
So what's going on now, I don't really pay too much attention to, because at the end of the day, it's sort of like, in some ways it's competition, and sometimes I do get out and just listen to what's going on.
Mhm.
But I don't really like a lot of what's going on, so I'd rather just stay where I am. But I mean, if you're thinking about it, like Ninth Wonder, I think he did a lot last year, and like he raised up his producing game a lot, I think.
Mhm.
Like from what it was, because everybody used to complain, oh, he uses the same snare and he does the same sound and blah 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 blah. But I think he kind of switched it up and he did a lot of different stuff which I liked. So Ninth Wonder was good. I just got put onto an artist called Chocolate.
She's amazing.
I
So
think
I
I'm
guess
kind
you
of
haven't
late.
checked my blog because I reviewed.
I'm kind of late. No, I read your blog and I knew about it, but it's sort of like, oh, I'll download it later, I'll listen to it later, I'll buy it
No,
later.
you shouldn't have done that. No, seriously, she's amazing, and
Yeah, I mean, I just got put onto her and like, wow.
she's amazing.
She's dope. Who else? I can't really think.
It's okay. You don't have
I
to.
can't really think. I can't really think.
It's okay. Yeah, I think that's about it. Do you have anything else you would like to talk about? Any shout out or anything you'd like to share?
Yeah, I could do some shout outs. First and foremost, always shouting out to Uprock Studios for giving me a place to actually do what I do. You know, without that, I wouldn't have the album and all the stuff coming out and places to record and stuff like that. Shout out to everybody I work with: Kaiser, Incisive, Shaka, Nadine, Selena. You know, who else? Deluxe, another producer that works in here. He's doing his thing as well. He's doing amazing stuff. You know, Iron Braids. Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Thank you.
cool.